On this episode of the High Not to Laugh podcast, I'm going to go old school and teach him like he's in high school with 15 creepy facts.
And I'm high.
Welcome to the High Not to Laugh podcast, where we have a few different regular topics, and here's a new one that's going to be about once a month, where we used to do a show called Higher Learning, and I would teach him facts and then quiz him a week later when he was sober. Nobody cared about the sober part, so we're just cutting out it's not middleman, it's the end man, I suppose. Mm-hmm. And we're just doing the part where I teach him facts while he's high, and then we discuss it. So... Oh, and he's the Weird Al to my Dr. Demento.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
Jason.
Had to have something. Anywho. All right. You ready to learn something?
I'm ready to forget something.
Butterflies like drinking blood. They don't have the tools to kill or bite for it, but since blood is nutrient-packed, they will lap up blood if it's available.
Interesting.
Butterflies.
Makes me like them a little more.
Want to drink your blood.
Yeah, that's fine.
In a related fact, vampire moths feed on the blood of mammals, including humans, and can suck blood for up to 50 minutes.
50 minutes?
I mean, at some point I'm going to be like, no, you're full.
50 minutes? I'd be empty. And that'd be the biggest little balloon of a moth I have ever seen. 50 minutes?
Anyway, you're just a sack of blood.
Yeah, well.
Hey, I'm a bigger sack than you, so that didn't sound right. A sloth's long nails aren't actually nails. They're bones that stick out from their skin wrapped in a layer of keratin.
Keratin, the stuff that nails are made out of?
But it's bone wrapped in keratin. The bone protrudes out of their flesh. It's more of the actual skeletal structure before the adamantium of Wolverine. Except it doesn't go in and out, it just stays out.
That's weird.
Yeah. A 28-year-old patient named Artyom Sidorkin, I guarantee I nailed that.
Yeah.
Inhaled a seed from a fir tree, which sprouted and grew in his lung. Doctors thought that it must be a tumor and were stunned to find a little tree growing in this man's lung.
Yeah, there was one, somebody ate like a watermelon or something, and that happened. Or not a watermelon.
No, that's always been the rumor is don't swallow watermelon seeds, they'll grow in your stomach. But fir trees apparently will grow in your lungs.
No, then it wasn't a watermelon. It was like something. It was like a fruit or whatever. And he bit into it, and it went down the wrong pipe, and they found like sprouts in there, and it definitely wasn't a fir tree. But yeah, I don't remember what food thing it was, but he definitely inhaled it, and it.
This next one has a couple different figures, so who knows what's accurate. As many as 50 serial killers are on the loose in the U.S., according to the FBI.
Right.
But homicide archivist Thomas Hargrove speculates that there's between 3,000 and 4,000 serial killers active in the country. According to his records, there's over 27,000 murders that aren't even in the FBI files.
That's a lot.
No.
What the heck?
But, and those aren't even close numbers. Like, the FBI's like, probably 50 serial killers out there right now. And this guy's
3,
like 3 to
000.
4,000.
It's like,
Not 40, 3 to 4.
I said 3.
I thought you said 40.
I said 3,000.
I swear. Okay. Well, I thought you said 40,000, but I could have misheard you. That's fine.
I'm high.
But I know.
I was just making sure. Jackass.
But like, how do you like explain?
Yeah, those don't seem right.
Like, it's kind of like when they did the recount in Florida with George W.
Gore?
Bush. and gore,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like it was within like
A couple.
a couple hundred,
Right.
is what they were saying. It's like that I could see trying to recount and try to, but my word,
1,000?
like 50 versus 4,000. That's not close.
That's an unacceptable change.
I mean,
4,000 is like
to have a variable of 3,400
much bigger than a
is
drop
ridiculous.
in a bucket, you know?
Yeah. Here's a fun one. There's a brain-eating amoeba that lives in lakes and rivers in the southern part of the U.S. Single-celled organisms that travel up your nose into your brain where it starts to break down the tissue. Yay.
This is the South.
Yeah.
They'll find a way to cook it.
They'll find a way to cook it. They'll deep fry it.
Yeah. They'll pick it off the brain first.
About 1 in 50 people in the U.S. currently have a brain aneurysm that just hasn't ruptured. That's about 6.5 million people.
How? What's the percent?
1 in 50?
1 in 50? How many people are in there in America? Like millions, right?
Right, which is why it's enough to make 6.5 million be the total.
That's not good either.
No.
I hope I'm not one of them.
Cockroaches have been recorded eating human flesh, both living and dead, as well as fingernails, eyelashes, feet, and hands. The American cockroach and German cockroach are more likely to bite humans than the other species.
That's not good.
Even the German cockroaches have attitude.
Of course.
And of course the
Fingernails
American
and-
ones do too. We're lucky the American ones just don't have guns.
Yeah. Well, considering they can't die anyway.
20% of all coffee mugs contain fecal matter.
Coffee mugs?
That explains why the coffee hasn't been tasting good lately, you jerk.
Well, that was personally added.
Oh, okay. This coffee tastes like... Female ferrets can die after a year of no sex. They mature sexually at 4 to 6 months of age. Then they go into heat and will stay that way until they breed. But if they stay in heat prolonged amounts of time, the estrogen levels increase and lead to aplastic anemia, which kills them.
This sounds very similar to the human male.
No. Human males want to act like they would die and try to convince their woman to do it more often because it's like, you don't want me to die.
I'm dying here.
If you ever use bleach without gloves, have you ever done that?
Not that I know of.
Well, it sometimes gets kind of slimy.
Oh?
Yeah, that slime's not the bleach, it's your skin melting.
Oh?
Uh-huh.
That's so cool. I'm so happy.
You're like,
What?
yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that. You'd think you would know the difference.
Oh?
If my
It
skin's
doesn't
melting,
burn. Think about it. Your top layer of skin is usually dead skin
something I
anyway.
feel,
It's dead skin.
it's where I
anyway.
feel everything.
Okay, but you flake off skin all day long.
I'm not keeping track of it, but sure.
You don't feel it. So you're just burning it off. It's kind of...
That's uncomfortable. That's bad.
It doesn't hurt when people pumice their feet either.
I don't put hummus on my feet.
Not put hummus. Pumice. All right. It wasn't until 1987 that the American Academy of Pediatrics declared it's unethical to operate on newborns without anesthesia.
Wait. So they
Prior
weren't
to
before?
Prior to 1987, they didn't use anesthesia. The medical community felt it would be dangerous to give infants the anesthesia and believed that they didn't feel pain.
Wait, okay. No, wait, nope. Okay, so we went a step too far there.
Right. Since 87, they started
I could
using
understand
anesthesia.
that maybe it's dangerous,
Oh, absolutely.
because anesthesia could be dangerous for anybody.
Right.
But you know what else could be dangerous? Surgery.
I mean, a lot of surgeries are. Like,
Right. They're not called invasive for nothing.
you're like, I have a
Invasive,
freckle
invasive.
that I'm having removed. And it's like, and you're dead.
Right.
It's like, why? Well, because the tool we used
It was
Or what-
actually a chainsaw.
No, that's for birth. Come on.
Yeah.
There's an old episode where he learned that. Anyway, cone snails are deadly. After getting stung by a cone snail, you don't feel the sting for a little while. There's no anti-venom, and it can be lethal. Treatment is basically keeping you alive until the venom wears off. That's the only
Sounds
treatment.
painful.
They're like, don't die, buddy.
How am I supposed
No, I
to
said
do
don't
that?
die.
How am I supposed to do that though?
Right.
Like, so I just like actively don't die
Right.
until I actively die.
I mean, you don't actively things.
I don't, but like I learned it from the worst.
Hey,
Huh?
talk about your mother that way.
Oh, psh. Ran around a lot more than either of us.
Wow.
No, wait.
Wow. I'm certainly messaging this episode to somebody.
That was not the way I said it, though.
That's exactly
In
how
my
you
head,
said
it came out very different.
A chicken named Mike survived 18 months without a head. You know how chickens...
Okay.
18 months.
Worse,
No.
they named it.
Farmer Lloyd Olson meant to eat Mike for dinner with his wife.
Meant to.
But the swing of his axe wasn't perfect. He missed the jugular vein and most of the brainstem. So even without a head, Mike was alive and people would come see him for the next year and a half. Now, here's my question. How did it eat? Wouldn't you starve to death in a year and a half?
I think I saw pictures of this thing.
Yeah, but
And
it was
had,
missing
like,
a head.
Well, like the head was like hanging down. Still like kind of attached.
I
So
don't
it
know.
would probably eat through the very mangled head spot.
And here's one you've probably heard before, but mobile phones are 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat.
Mobile phones are?
Like cell phones.
Nobody sits on my phone, you know.
Yeah. But I don't know about you.
Poop doesn't go in that.
Poop doesn't go on the seats unless you're a pig.
You should see the toilets at work.
I said unless you're a pig. Customers at grocery
Stores?
stores, at bars,
Oh,
and you would think, and this is going to sound very sexist, but it's true. You would think women are normally neater than men. When it comes to women's bathrooms, they are bigger pigs than the men are. And they
Yeah.
have the audacity to come home and go, you got a little piddle on the floor. It's like, you shoved a used thing into a trash can and made it smell like that. No.
right.
I'm trying to say it in a way that doesn't get me in trouble, but like, wow.
Yeah, no, our janitor
I used to help
guy
clean a bar, and
complains
I'll
way
tell you
more
the
about
women's room.
bathroom.
Yeah, the women's room at the bar that I used to clean with my uncle, way worse than the men's room. Way worse.
But that's the difference here is he'll go into the women's bathroom and find a bunch of like stinky, gross stuff hiding in spots. But if he goes into the guy's bathroom, 60% of the time when he walks in, there's just poop everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, like just pigs are pig. Like it's a customer thing. It's like I'm gonna treat this different than I would at home because it's not my home. And it's like, yeah, but don't you like it when it's clean when you sit down? Maybe leave it that way for the next guy.
Right?
Right? Like, ugh.
Yeah.
But anyway, as always, don't worry, don't cry, smoke weed, and get high.